interesting, right? So let's just see how it goes.
GG.
Yeah. Alright, so I'm going to move over. We're going to deafen just so I don't get stuff there. Let's add the stream marker. Okay, yeah, apologies for not actually speaking to you guys in the chat too much during that, because, yeah, there was a lot to kind of go over with that. So it seems like we are probably going to be doing the more limited format next round instead of actually opening a new set. So Pod 7C maybe? I don't know. We'll see how that goes. Anyway, if anyone is still in chat, hello. We are doing Gym Challenge today. I have actually already done my draft. I can have a video up for that, so I probably won't be spreading the thing out here, but that is okay. Gym Challenge is a set and a half. I do think it's overall better than the previous one, and I do kind of like a couple of the cards in here, but a couple of them it just adds more problems to the pile of crap here that we have been discussing as we've gone. So I think I should probably just start with those, to be honest. The elephant in the room is Chaos Gym. Yeah, I know that only 3 people total pulled any of this. I know 1 pulled 4, and everybody else that got it pulled 2. So, and they're probably not even going to play it. This card is stupid. Like, it's a stadium that you can counter with other stadia, so I guess we've just got to play a bunch of useless crap in our deck to get around it. But basically, if somebody plays a trainer card that isn't a stadia that replaces this, you flip a coin. If heads, it works as normal, but if tails, you give it to your opponent to use, basically. If it's not put into play, the opponent gets to use the card instead. So long as they do all the discards or anything like Oak and Item Finder and whatnot would allow. And it discards it no matter what happens to it. So, yeah, this low-key shuts down playing trainers, because most of the time you can't really afford to give your opponent the effect that you're trying to resolve. So, it's effectively a one-card trainer lock on, you know, in a game that already had a stage 2 that did that, and plenty of cards that strip them from your hand so that you don't get to draw. There aren't really enough Pokemon-based draw options to go around that at the moment, so really, really stupid card. But just in case it couldn't get any worse, this Jigglypuff up here is like 40 damage for 1 energy attachment. Double colorless, admittedly, but there are so many cards that you can draw for your deck on the first turn with here that it barely matters, because you get this with a bunch of plus powers. You can hit 70, even 80 damage on turn 1 and just wipe out almost anything that the opponent is going to play down in a single turn. So if you don't open more than 1 Pokemon, you are leaving yourself open to being killed before you even get a chance to play. This has been a problem in the past with weakness as a thing. That's why you play 50 HP instead of 40 HP mons, and even that's not always safe. But this just allows you to do it in any deck for, like, a double colorless energy. It's really, really dumb. Other than that, like, there's a lot of good stuff in here, but nothing can really compete with that. But we'll go over all the decent stuff anyway, because there are some really fun ones in here. Rocket Zapdos is a really cool card. If you play this, pretty much it's like a better Electabuzz in a lot of cases. It's got the attach energy effect that the charge Electabuzzes had in the previous set from Lieutenant Surge, but it does 20 damage as well, right? It's stupidly strong. Also resists fighting, which is usually what Lightning's weak to, and Electro Burn, although it does a lot of damage to itself, you've got to play Defender at the moment to get around that. It is 70 damage on a basic for 4 energy. That's higher than like anything that we've seen so far. This card's pretty insane. So definitely one to look out for. Blaine's Arcanine is a really cool one, mostly in the next set when we have Typhlosion as a possibility, because Typhlosion can accelerate fire from the discard to your fire Pokemon. So that Firestorm attack that literally one-shots anything in the game can be played a bit more effectively in that set. So definitely one to keep an eye on. Just hopefully we pull Typhlosion for it in the next round. Brock's Ninetales is a really cool one, mostly because of Brock's protection that we have the rare slot, right? Down here. So Brock's protection is like a prototype tool card. Tools don't come out until the next set, but this effectively is the same thing, where you attach it to a Brock Pokemon, and then energy can't be removed by attacks or trainer cards. So you get to protect against energy removal guaranteed. There is no way of removing that tool, non-tool even, from the Pokemon, so you attach it to the Ninetales, and then Ninetales has Shapeshift that lets you Ditto transform it effectively into any evolution card that you want by attaching the evolution to it. So effectively you quote-unquote evolve. It's not actually evolution, but like, roll with it for a sec. You kind of evolve this thing into whatever card that you want, whatever evolution card you want, and if it becomes that Pokemon. But if you attach Brock's protection beforehand, that means whatever Pokemon you go into, like say, I don't know, Misty's Gyarados over here, it also has the energy removal protection. So these really expensive attacks might actually stand a chance of getting powered up. It does not, however, let you use any of the Pokemon powers on the cards, which works in favor for Misty's Gyarados here because it's a bad power, but it also means something like Sabrina's Alakazam Psylink that lets you use any of your other Psychic Pokemon to play. You can't actually use that power. So you'd be stuck using Mega Burn, but that's still really good. You can copy some fantastic Pokemon with this, like, again, looking at stuff like the Gyarados that does 70 for 4, but has a bad power that could shuffle it back into the deck. You could copy Erika's Venusaur that lets you attach 2 Grass Energy from your hand to it if you flip heads. Or, you know, Wide Solar Beam could do quite a bit of damage too. You can use it on stuff like the Sabrina's Gengar if you want to treat it as a name for Sabrina's Haunter in the previous set that lets you flip more coins and do more damage. And it's just really solid in general, but it's a very complicated card as well, so we'll see if it actually comes up at all in any of the games. I personally think Blaine's Ninetales is really good, although this mostly is because Blaine is also here as well. But Blaine's Ninetales, you heal 10 damage off it every time you attach a fire energy to it from the hand, which is really good. And then 2 fire for 50, pretty insane damage output. If you flip tails, you got to discard all the fire on it, but because it's only 2 fire, you could actually use Blaine himself to attach 2 fire instead of 1 whenever you attach from your hand that turn. So you can power it up in a single turn, heal 20 as you do so, and do 50 damage in the process. Very, very strong card. One of the other really cool ones I've seen in here, Koga's Muck. If the opponent damages this whilst it's, not even whilst it's active, just if the opponent damages it, then you flip a coin, and if heads, you discard an energy from the attacking Pokemon. Pretty crazy. Koga also has Fuchsia City Gym that lets you, what was it, Mr. Fuji, if you get heads, like Mr. Fuji or Koga Pokemon back into deck, so you can save it as well. It's pretty good. Now, what other Pokemon are nice in here? Jolteon's pretty good, as is the Eevee that goes with it. If you flip heads on high voltage, the opponent can't play trainers next turn, which is quite good. And Thunder Flare is just a very, very big rage style attack, but if you flip tails, it does 30 to itself as well. So you kind of got to play defender here. Game end. Game end? Oh no! Dang, that's pretty quick. Some of the other Blaine's ones are pretty cool too. Rapidash, if you've got a fire double colorless, you can potentially do 40 and 10 to all of the opponent's bench, and it just has a solid starter attack too. The Ponyta's quite good as well. I didn't even mention the Eevee yet. The Eevee's a butt. Like, look at a random card from the opponent's hand, shuffle it back into the deck. The original Astonish type effect, I guess. The Ponyta for a double colorless is a potential hit and run attacker, so that's kind of neat. And then, yeah, what else is good? Master Ball is kind of okay. People nowadays will see this as Great Ball, so it's not the strongest card out there, but it's definitely okay. In a format where we don't have as many consistency tools, this one's quite nice. Resistance Gym is good for the Psychic decks. Makes everybody's resistance 10 instead of 30, so Psychic Pokemon can actually start hitting through colorless text, which is pretty good. Fervor is kind of okay if you're playing a lot of fires for Blaine. You, show the top 3 cards of your deck to all players and put any fire energies in your hand there. Discard the rest of them, that is fine. Warp Point was introduced in here. This lets both players choose one of their... It's escape rope nowadays. Lets you choose one of your bench Pokemon and switch it with your active. The opponent has to switch first, so you do get switch initiative here, which is quite nice. What else is okay? Sabrina's Psychic Control is cute. If you flip heads, you get one of the opponent's trainers out the discard pile and just use it. So that's fun. The Ghastly here gains extra HP for every psychic energy that's on it, and its attack is pretty okay too. So it ends up being like 60 HP, 30 for 2 psychic is quite okay. This Drowsy is errated, so that it actually is supposed to attach the energy, not put it into hand. So that can be quite nice. I think it's the first time they've really seen that sort of effect. The Kadabra's fun, because if you flip heads, and Sabrina's ESP gives you 2 chances at that, make it so the opponent only has 10 HP remaining. Then you could pick him off with Golbat later on. I mentioned the Alakazam, like if you use this, you can use any of your other Psychic Pokemon's attacks in play if you can pay for them, so that's good. That lets you use Energy Absorption with the Mewtwo, for example, so that's fine. And then probably the other best one in here would have to be that Rocket's Mewtwo. Like, it's the first card in the game that's got 3 attacks associated with it, and its first one is fine. Like, swap the damage counters on both Mewtwo and the opponent's active if you have Heads Flip, or 20 for 2 with a Sleep Flip, or the massive 60 for 4 energy. That typically you only see that on stage 2s, but that is what we are dealing with here. So, yeah, kind of interesting. However, that is not really what we are here to discuss today. I have 2 decks that I could potentially play. I don't know if anybody is actually still in the chat here, but it would more be a question of how toxic do you want me to be today? Because I have 2 ways that this can go. It's not the draft set, it is the draft deck is what I have set here. Everything is trying to load up. Let's go ahead and spread them and show what I am considering today, and maybe if there is actually anyone in chat, then we could have a show of like how caustic should we be today. So, deck number 1 is they're on complete opposite ends of the spectrum here too. I don't think either of them are actually that great, but what they are is most likely going to beat whatever flavor of Chaos Gym bullshit I'm going up against round 1. So deck 1 is revolving around Misty Staryu, which is picked up in this set. There's one I didn't mention just now, but it is pretty respectable. If you flip heads with this, it returns itself and all cards attached to it to the hand. Does 20 damage for 1 energy, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it also returns all the cards attached to it into the hand as well, which means the energy comes back to hand, but also plus power in this era attaches to the active Pokemon. So if you flip heads, you get the plus powers back into hand as well, and you can hit for huge numbers with this. It is a Misty Pokemon, and I did pull 2 Misty last set. If you're wondering why it's holo instead of the non-holo, it's because it was easier when I was reorganizing my collection stuff here. Misty discards 2 other cards in your hand to let Misty Pokemon do 20 more damage this turn. So that's a base of 40 on the Staryu, which is the same as what the Jigglypuff does. We are still going to play the Jigglypuff too, because Cypher is really good for this deck. That means double colorless is good, so we're going to play 1 just to have that as the alternative out. So we can hit pretty big numbers with this. But we need something to be able to go into as well, and it's kind of vulnerable to lightning, so we do want a secondary like type thing here, and that's where Misty's Poliwag comes in. So Misty's Poliwag is a 20 damage attacker as well. If it flips tails, then you can't use that attack next turn, but that's fine because we do actually have the Poliwhirl that we can evolve into as well. which can also do some good damage. We'll go into that if we need to. But the Poliwag is more there so that we can have something that stays on the board. Amnesia is a decent attack as well, like choosing one of the opponent's moves to make them not able to use it next turn. These two both have 1 retreat cost, but Cerulean City Gym means that Misty Pokemon pay 1 less to retreat every turn. So we can actually just retreat the Poliwag for free, attach to the Staryu, do the same thing again. Potentially keep hitting gigantic numbers every turn, and just put too much pressure on. If that's not going to work, Misty's Poliwhirl can actually do quite a lot of damage itself. It can discard energy if you flip heads on Rapids, but also Water Punch could potentially do 60 damage for the free water that you attach, just to get there in the first place. You can buff it with Misty, this thing can do a lot, so yeah, very heavy attack stuff here, more or less. It's just like, try and kill them before they get too many Pokemon set up, and if you fail at that, maybe fucking Bubbles can do stuff. The alternative is to go in the complete opposite direction and to decimate their energy and everything that they hold dear. So this is Blaine's Charmander Control, and this list makes me want to gouge my eyes out just looking at it. It is disgusting. But let's go over the main stuff here. Your main attacker is Blaine's Charmander. It's got 50 HP, so it's not the greatest that way, but for 1 fire energy, 10 damage, discard an energy on the Charmander, and then discard an energy on the opponent's active. You are going to play the resource game here, and you are going to make them discard all of their energy and run them out of stuff that they can play. To that end, we also have 4 of the Lickitung. We haven't really seen much of this because we haven't wanted to play control that much, but this is just 1 energy, 10 damage if heads paralysis, so we want to deck them out, like, as in the end. And to aid in that deck out, I have 2 copies of the Moltres, which discards any number of fire energy on it to discard that many cards off the top of the opponent's deck as well. To go with that, we need to have a lot of recovery, so we do have the 1 energy retrieval to get energy back, and we have free nightly garbage run, as well as free item finder to get those garbage run back. And then we have a bunch of energy removal and heal stuff here. There's also free Stadia. I would like to go to 4, but I don't know how, because I need basically everything in here. Lass is really good here because we don't want them having their own like energy removal or whatnot, or any like main way of getting back in too quickly. And then our Stadia are mostly nonplussed, but the Rocket's Training Gym does actually inhibit retreat costing as well, so that's kind of nice. But mostly it's just as counter Stadia, because we really don't need one. Blaine's Gym is kind of cute, like Cinnabar Gym, I only pulled 1 of it, but it does mean that Charmander's not weak to water. So yeah, I don't know. Now, the Misty Psyduck takes Psychic Energy, not Water, so I can't play it in the Misty deck. Yeah, we have 16 fire in here. We do have Scoop Up, so we can heal. The Charmeleon can do a bunch of spread damage and things. Like, if my opponent's just not attaching anything, then I can eventually go Charmeleon and just start attacking as well. I have a Charizard, but I don't think it's very good, and I didn't find space for it, so there's that. Yeah, so it's like, do we just destroy everything that he holds dear, or do we try and kill him before I get killed here? You know, I mean, I'm probably losing with either of these decks, to be totally honest with you. I think I'm going to take the Misty one, because I think I'm more likely to actually be able to run with that. Alright, let's undeafen.
Thought it might be worth taking a quick look at things to make sure. I don't
Hello.
see much else jumping out at me in here. Hi Cal. We were just talking about decks because we had a mirror match.
Oh, I see.
I went second twice, and apparently I'm not allowed to do that.
Yeah, no, this format pretty much is who goes first wins, more or less. At least it feels like it. It isn't always, I don't think. It's pretty close.
I might have convinced Matt why we need Cleffa.
Oh yeah?
Because, yeah, there's no out. You get item lock turn 1, there's no out.
Yeah.
It's tricky because Cleffa wouldn't have saved you there unless you started it.
That's the thing. At least it would have given me a chance if it was in my deck.
It's tough, but yeah, I don't know, dude. I don't really know what the best way around this is, to be honest.
Let's just skip the whole set.
We can't
all
skip
in
this, it's
one.
already been drafted.
Already been dragged.
If we're talking about bans,
Yeah.
we'll just ban half the stupid stuff. I wouldn't be opposed.
He managed to Imposter Oak and Rocket's Trap me with heads twice in a row.
Oh, that's just brutal.
Yeah, that would do it. That would do it.
I can't do anything about that.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, is, yeah, what can you even say to that?
What's the right deck before I start drawing? Yep.
Right, well, whose deck is it that's on here? Is that yours?
That's my second deck, I think.
Right, okay.
Oh, yeah.
I was thinking about which deck to use, so I imported them both, but
I'll spread out mine for
I went for
review.
this one, so I'm keeping it to the side in case I'm friendly.
Right, let's move into a different room then.
Yeah, sure.
Right.
I just
In
know.
general.
Oh, he's already gone there. Right. Okay, I see you went there. Okay. Oh, boy!
Yeah, I noticed your rooms are out of order as well. I'm not sure if you noticed.
How did that happen?
It's not important for now, though.
No, it's not, but I'm still moving it anyway. Right. This is going to go very poorly, but let us see. Oh shit, I didn't want you to see this beforehand. I do not have a basic. Fuck me, I did not want you to see that.
Erika plus Cerulean, okay. Oh, you're on water, that's really bad. Uh-oh. I think I just got matchups. I think I just...
I don't know. Okay. I do have a basic, I'm just deciding one. I'm gonna put my bench down here.
Yeah,
My prizes down
the
first.
full 2 from the mulligan.
Yeah. Yeah, I've just got to decide what I actually want to do with this here. Because I do have options, which is surprising. Let's... Sure, let's do that. Sure, let's do that. Yeah,
going
feels
first,
about right. Okay, well, good luck.
I'm going to Bill.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're playing that. I survived.
To be honest, you forced my hand. I had like 8 cool decks that I wanted to play this round, and none of them are going to do shit against Chaos.
Well, my cool decks are my serious ones.
To be fair, I don't even know if this is cool or serious or what, but it's like, you forced my hand. I had to try something.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think going second is going to help my cause at all with this, mind you, but we shall see.
Just doing a bit of a thinky. Okay, I'll play the pointer from my hands.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's DC on the pointer,
Okay.
and pass from there.
Oh boy. Okay, well...
Maybe I
let's-
should... Nah,
Okay, what point? Start with that. Because that's always going to happen first. I am going to play Bill here. Like, I know, draw cards beforehand, but at what point was always happening here just because of the way your thing is, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, now this is a funky one. I can do that, that's probably fine. Right, let's see what we're working with. Sneak attack. Ooh. Okay, so I might as well throw the second one down here too, because I'm gonna do that. So we'll get comp search on one of the Blaines here.
Yeah. That doesn't feel good.
Nope.
Okay.
Okay.
So you have to try and
Computer
build my
search.
board instead of turn 1 comp chaos shim.
So just discard my second comp and probably the Staryu here is okay. Yeah, I mean, this is the thing. It's like I wasn't sure exactly how that was going to play out, but honestly, I kind of just had to do what I had to do with it, you know.
Oh yeah, I don't blame you for that. It's just I'm still not sure what to do with situations like that in this format.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, especially. I mean, no, I don't know. I don't know either because I don't know what sort of
Like,
setup
because
you
my
could
concert
have.
plan was, if I didn't see anything this turn, was going to be to get the Ninetales out.
Mm-hmm.
You saw what I've done there.
Yep.
Okay, you beat up my Vulpix a bit. Blaine,
Yep.
2 fires, burn your thing.
Yeah. Okay, we're gonna put the Poliwag down and we're gonna oak. That would do it.
If I did Chaos Gym there, I was kind of stuck.
Yeah. Alright. Gotta just think for a sec of how much I need to go in here.
Yeah, think away.
Because the answer is I probably need to go in quite a bit. I'm just like, how does that look right now? Because, you know, there's no immediate threat of chaos coming in, which is something at least. Okay, let's throw down Cerulean so I can retreat to the Staryu. So yeah, basically everything here has got 1 retreat, so it's got 0 with Cerulean out. So, right, initial bit, I am going to have the plus power, so that will at least take the knockout. I'm just thinking, do I need to do anything else here whilst I'm... Because I'm a little bit worried about, like, just getting top deck Chaos or something out of here. Am I? Because, I mean, yeah, no, it's a little bit. Oh, it's hard. Yeah, no, I'm just gonna go ahead and Star Boomerang. So if I flip heads, this thing and everything on it goes back to hand. Oh, that is not flip. Come on. That is off the table.
My dice physics aren't that good.
Oh, come on. Jeez. I don't like just like this. Oh my, what? How is that? How is that going so far? Wait, I don't understand. Okay, I'm gonna zoom out. I'm gonna zoom out a little bit further then because apparently I'm getting like lag spike to hell here.
Yeah, someone.
Are they doing some? Yeah, I was gonna say.
They're doing stuff.
Right.
Okay, I'll take it.
Okay, well, yeah, eventually I think we've got it out as a Tails. So yeah, let's draw.
Top deck mode. Oh, not dead this turn.
That's something.
Ponyta.
Yep.
Walk point.
Yep.
Attach fire. Pass.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean this is just type advantage dot thing, isn't it?
It's a little bit of that, but also this doesn't necessarily care that much about type advantage. It cares about things being like 90 HP. I can stretch to that, but that takes up like everything I have basically.
Which is another part of the matchup because I'm playing aggressive, aren't I?
A little bit, yeah. Alright, let's comp search. I'm gonna discard no removal and goop gas. Gotta have something to out Dratini, so yeah, let's just do that, I guess. Right, gust up the Vulpix. I will put another Staryu down, and yeah, I'm gonna oak my DC away. I don't think I'm really gonna need that here. Oh, I say that. Alright. Let's build. We have like a million lag spikes. Zero retreat to the Staryu. Attach 1 to the Wag. go for the plus power, and hopefully we'll get a chance to.
This is where the time advantage is coming in, though, because you're OHKOing when you would
I
otherwise
am. I have another. I have a way that I could have killed you this turn anyway. But I am. Yeah, that does help. And this time it goes back to hand. So that includes the plus power because it is attached to the star.
Yeah.
And then we will go this bulwark. At least I would, but I'm having some issues with the button apparently.
Oh, this button glitches back. Oh,
You can't switch
like
that
back.
fast. There we go.
Nice to know that worked.
Yeah, you can't switch that fast about 5 times off of the thing. There we go.
Well, okay, that's the thing. I guess I gotta. Blaine.
Yep.
2 fires. No, not the hand.
Yeah, I was gonna say that would be pretty strong. Yep.
Oak. Guarding a warp point.
Which, funnily enough, you can use, but I guess it wouldn't have done anything. Well, it maybe switch star you, but like, what's the point? Yeah.
Well, you choose, so it wouldn't
True.
put that in my favour.
Yeah, but I would have put star you up because I'm not risking my energy attachment, right?
Think. Well, okay, no matter what I do, I'm putting this on the bench.
Yep. Aha, there it is. I was figuring that would be around somewhere.
Yep. And no matter what, I'm going to evolve this.
Yep, okay.
Yeah, I think I've got. Yeah, you're only going to assume you have the counter stadium. Computer search, discard, fire, and DCE.
Uh-huh. Trade off of Misty's Wrath for Blaine's Ninetales. Yeah. Yeah, sure.
Let's do a price check. Okay.
Yeah, at least that indicates you hadn't shuffled yet because you hadn't put it back in. It's not a bad way of doing it, actually. Right, so you Blaine this turn, right?
Yeah, I've used my attach.
Yep.
Chaos Gift.
That's fine. I'll use your Chaos Control.
And I'll just fire main for 20.
Yep. My god, I actually have to put a damage counter on. Shocking. Alright. Got 2 in hand. Right, okay. Okay, let's put another Poliwag down. You know what? I'm probably okay enough just to go attach in bubbles, huh? It's probably fine because it is still doing 40. Alright, if you don't kill me, I can use it next turn. That's probably not happening, but still.
Gotta.
Yep.
This is the fall we. Please tails, please tails, please tails, please tails.
Yeah.
Something. Damn it!
Yep, the one time that you don't want it.
If I get the KO.
You do get the KO. Yeah, I've just got to get all of these silly things over here.
This is bad. Bad matchup top deck.
Yeah, it is a little bit. I will say some of it probably wouldn't have mattered anyway with a bit of it. I had reach for 50 damage, no problem. Let's go... Which one do I want the energy on? Probably on you. Throw down another star you. And... yeah, let's... yeah, let's just bubble. Bubbles. I can't. So, it's a tails. Okay, so I can't actually use bubbles with this guy next turn. Is this where we see the group therapy so you can do 50, like 40 next turn?
Attach DCE.
Yep.
Group therapy.
Yep. So this heals, yeah, or 10 from all of my stuff. Yeah. Okay. Okay, we will draw. Okay, let's. This seems a little sketch, but I think I still do it anyway. I have my own one. I have DC, so we're gonna. Am I gonna paper trade? You have what? 3 in hand? I'm gonna attempt to item finder.
Okay.
That's a heads. Okay, so we're gonna just. I was gonna Erika, but it's like there's no point. We're just gonna discard the 2. That's gonna get Cerulean back. So Cerulean can bounce the chaos. Gives me 0 retreat into that, and plus power takes the win.
GG.
Yeah. So the reason I said the type didn't matter in that one turn is because I had Misty in hand. So I could have hit 50 anyway, even if you weren't weak to water.
It was I think it was compounding advantages.
Yeah. It was like it definitely helped, but it wasn't the defining trait of that turn.
Could have. Yeah. I haven't tried to learn anything special, so.
I had a Cerulean and a plus power in my prizes, looking at that at the end there, so that was kind of annoying, but... yeah, like, again, sorry, my hands were tied on this one. I was
hey,
like,
I can't moan at you for type advantage, it's a blind pick.
Yeah. It's like, hands were tied, and I was like... it was either this or I subject you to Blaine's Charmander stall, and I don't think anybody wants that.
Yeah, I prefer this to that.
I very nearly play. I was brewing it this afternoon, going, "What the fuck am I doing?"
The
I was like,
one psychic energy dot deck from yesterday was my other thought.
Yeah.
I thought, no, I'll be a bit nicer. I'll try some new things. I'll bring the Ninetales in, and I think it did fine.
Oh yeah.
I don't think I could have expected. I couldn't expect it to beat a water deck.
No.
Not when I'm playing Chaos Gyms over Cinnabars.
And like if you brought the single one and I did bring the Charmander stall, I am like 90% sure I win that game. Because even with your 1 attachments, what are you copying off of the
exactly.
yeah, right? And it's like, okay, the Venomoth could be a little bit annoying, but it's weak to fire, so, you know. It's not just Charmander. I do have the Charmeleon in there. That would one-shot Venomoth, so... yeah, it's not as if that would have been any better for you. Okay, yeah. So, hello, Matt.
I lost because I brought Blaine to a water fight.
Yeah, apparently.
Should have played Cinnabar Island, my dude.
But the Chaos Gym! It's so good! Let me just dip down so I can pick up trainers.
So this is going to be a disaster. This deck is not supposed to win after like turn 2, but you know, my hand was kind of forced. This guy over here had 4 Chaos Gym, so I had to just go right. My one way of potentially winning that game is if I kill him before he can play it, and you know. It happened to work out with fire, but I did have reach on a couple of turns where I didn't actually need that fire typing to work it. But we'll just have to see. I do have a basic in my opener here.
Want a friendly Sai? Oh wait, Sai not in this room.
Yeah, he's not in that room. Just getting a bit of lag there. There we go. So, yeah, how are you feeling with this one?
Deck does what it does.
Yeah, pretty much. I wish I could play this a little bit better. I will admit, there's a few cards here which I definitely was missing out of this, but missing in higher numbers, really. I wanted more Misty. I obviously would like more Erika, so I could go with the stuff here. But you know.
So you liked my deck concept, huh?
Well,
Plus Power Star you?
Was it you? I thought you were doing tentacle bullshit.
Yeah, it was Tentacle to fuel Misty, but it still had this plus Power Star use.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah. No, the thing that sort of put me over the edge with this one is that Staryu returns all the cards attached to it too, and at this time, plus power attaches. So I was like, oh, that's a combo, you know? It's like...
Yep.
Okay, heads or tails?
Even.
Odd it is, so good luck.
Thank.
Okay, we can do this. Oh, yeah, no. Shit, this is over already. Because I have comp search for discard the 2. Unless I have prized them, which would be very fucking sad at this point, which I have not. Because the rest of my hand is 2 plus power in the energy. So I can hit 50 on turn 1. Shit.
GG?
Yeah. Yeah, I this is why best of 3s are a thing. So I think we should probably do that again.
You've got the win, but
yeah, but
we can play it friendly.
Yeah. That was what? I mean, stupid opening hand to be honest, but I mean,
it's a coin flip game.
Yeah, I mean that's this meta in general. That's why I'm like really not a fan of this one. Yeah, as you said in chat there, Chaos, turn 1 win. Yep. It's not the only format it ever happens in, but it is definitely one of the worst ones. The only other one I really know that's like that is the turn 1 donks in Sableye format, like Gen 4 was the issue there. I will go for Tails. Okay, well, you get the first move this time, so... and see, here's the problem. I can't hit 90.
Not easily.
Actually, no. Strictly speaking, I can hit 90, but it's like it takes everything I have in my deck to hit 90 in one shot, and that's assuming no prizes and like a lot of draw. You know.
Yeah.
70 is also a pretty big stretch.
I'm gonna do this first.
Oh yeah, okay, yep.
After Psychic and Snorlax for Bill, obviously.
Yep. To draw the 2.
Okay, this is a little.
Looking a little better now.
Maybe, yeah. Yeah, I guess. I am gonna end up playing the Mewtwo, probably.
Seems reasonable.
Yeah.
Yeah, at the very least, having a 90 HP lead means you don't have to bench anything else on turn 1 when you're... or turn 0, I should say. Because 90 is kind of impossible for basically every deck to get through. Like...
Not... oh yeah, no, it still is. I was gonna say not for Tentacled Staryu, but
no,
you have to do the tentacle stuff first.
No, I need 2 Misty and like 3 plus power to make it happen, which is
and a hand that can
and
do
a
that.
hand. Yeah, it's possible, but it's not likely.
Yeah.
I think
okay.
that...
Well, yeah. So
Yep.
Comp Search.
I think the highest I've done turn 1 is 70 in testing with this deck. Which is still a lot, don't get me wrong, but it doesn't one-shot the Snorlax.
I'm not too sure what to get here, but I'm feeling just maybe a Oddish.
Okay, yep.
Or no, I'll go Psyduck instead. That way I can attach and
Yeah.
don't need to find 2 pieces.
That seems a lot better. Yep.
It feels bad,
don't
like
forget to
comp
shuffle.
searching for. Yeah, it will be. Feels bad comp searching for a Psyduck when I have 4 of, but.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like you do. Oh god, yep. And this is going to be the other side of it. It's like I've gone second this time, so like, can I even do anything now? Probably not, to be honest.
Yeah, could kill Psyduck potentially.
Not through headache.
Oh yeah.
Right? Because I can't play trainer cards.
I forgot the attack is good.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
I can hit you with a Blaine's quiz number 2.
The fuck is
So,
this?
Have you guess
Your opponent
the card
guesses whether
type
it's
here.
energy, trainer, or Pokemon. So it doesn't matter if it's basic or evolution, it's just a Pokemon card. Alright. We are going to go with trainer card. Nope.
Womp womp.
Yeah, alright, so you draw your 2.
That's what happens when you have
right?
2 comp search and 2 Erika in your collection. So you play Blaine's quiz.
Well, I have 4 comp search, but I only have 1 Erika, so...
I was gonna trade for size Erika, and then Leo swooped me and
Ooh, got him.
traded him
Leo
what he
hasn't
needed.
done like any trade stuff though, so it's actually nice that he's been able to do that before he left.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. It is what it is. Don't care for this hand too much. Your hand size. Well, okay, I guess that's what this is for. Old Sabrina's Gaze, we both shuffle draw.
So, since you're gonna headache me anyway, I will just show you what I had there. I had nothing going.
Oh no.
If I went first, that hand was god tier, but I went second, so... Yeah. I don't know though, I mean, that could just wreck everything else in here, we'll see.
Yeah. Alright, I will go... I think it's headache. Yep, headache.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, just imagine if I actually had that going first. Rocket Sneak Attack, double bill, like, dude. It's insane. Okay, I do have an attachment. I'm gonna bench the 3rd star you here just so I have a little bit of insurance, and yeah, we're gonna use the boomerang. Oh, and because of the stupid pack stuff going on. Okay, yeah, I guess we can... Do you want me to re-roll that because it landed on the deck, or are you alright with that?
Whatever you think is fine.
I think it's fine because it was going to stop on that anyway. It was just the deck was in the way. So
Sure.
I think, yeah, if it was unimpeded, it would have kept going and dinged it. So I think we're okay with that. We're just...
Yeah.
Ooh, Misty's Wrath. Oh, so you do it that way. Okay.
Yeah. It's not like the best way because it's kind of sus, I guess.
Yeah,
if you're-
so what we've been doing is we've cut the deck. So if you right-click cut and then on the use the right-hand number at 7, that splits it into it puts a horizontal like 7 cards off the top into on it, and then you can search that as a separate deck. That's what we've been doing.
What I dislike about that is then I have to wait, what is this? I have to right-click and click on stuff multiple times, and searching comes with
Fair.
lag, so
Fair.
it's just like, it's a lot easier to do this if you are playing with someone who will trust you not to try to pull sneaky
Right.
on you.
No, that's okay. I guess the alternative, if you do draw the 7, you could just like flip your hand over, like take that out first if you really wanted to, and then just straight do the 7 from there. That's also a possible way. That's less right-clicking, is just more like dragging your stuff onto the table, I guess.
Yeah.
No, it's fine though. Like I'm happy with that. I just like, it's just because the first thing I thought of was to do the cut thing, so I was like, right, sorry, I'm in the way.
You're good. So Erika.
Oh, so yeah, fair enough. I will draw 3 as well then.
Yep. Okay, I'll pop another Blaine's quiz,
Here we go.
and I will show you this. Oh wait, no. This.
Let's go Pokemon.
Wah,
Oh,
wah.
same thing again.
The mind games, man.
Yeah. It is a very elaborate draw too, huh? This is a lot of oddish.
Yep. Yeah, I've never had all 3 out, I don't think. It's new for me.
Yeah.
Item finder out of Gust switch, I guess.
Yeah.
17 cards in deck.
Yeah, you've kind of run through a lot here. 17 to 43. Feels going first
Yeah.
trainer lock. That's basically what it is at this point. It's like, yeah, got first trainer lock. Let's hope I can somehow survive. That's not this deck's specialty in the slightest, though, so...
Yeah, I'm not sure what I want here. Your hand is big, so I want to hit Disruption.
But at the same time, you're already locking me out of most of my stuff anyway.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, that's true.
Unless you've got, like, Rocket's Trap in there or something.
Let's see, item 2. 2 Staryus, they have 40 HP apiece.
They're not very big.
Yeah.
Very small stars.
I'm gonna go aggressive for Oak.
Okay. Yep.
Got a garbage run.
Okay.
Gonna put my pieces back in.
That is true. You did raffle Oak a lot of them away, huh?
Yeah. And then, Well, I can't. I don't know. I already touched DCE this turn, right?
You did, yes,
Next
because
turn.
turn 1 was Headache. This is your turn 2. It's your turn 2,
Yeah.
and you've almost decked out already. Like, jeez. That's this format in a nutshell, though. I've seen decks that can literally draw the entire deck in one turn, you know.
Yeah. Alright, and I really want to do all that. So much. Should have checked when I comp searched for something.
How much,
That's life.
how much do you need that gloom down this turn?
Yeah, that's the question, right? I think I'm just gonna end it with a headache there.
Okay. Well, pretty much the same as last time then. You know I have the Staryu, you know I have the energy, so we are going to just have to boomerang.
Yep.
And this time I do not return back. Because it's if heads, not if tails. It's kind of weird how that works out, but you know. Yeah, that's a problem. And, oh, jeez, okay. Well, maybe I could deck you. That's my only hope at this point.
Yeah. Odds are
Oh,
good.
why did you shuffle first?
Shuffle. Oh.
You don't shuffle for Oak.
Yeah, that's a good point. I don't think
worry.
it mattered here.
It
'cause I
doesn't
hadn't
matter. No,
searched
I'm-
since then, but...
I'm not fussed. It's just like, yeah, why did you shuffle with that?
Yeah, I don't know. That was just my instinct, I guess, in
Mhm.
case... I don't know, in case I forgot to shuffle after garbage run or something, I guess would be the logic.
Yeah. It's alright, I've quit out of one of the games that we were testing with Pepper last night, because apart I was getting frustrated anyway, but because my deck shuffled when I was also trying to roll the die, like randomize it the way that you've been doing it, and I shuffled the deck on accident, so I was like, you know, fuck this, it's an irreparable game state at that point, I'm not even going to bother. Probably for the best, because it meant I didn't reveal this deck to him. I didn't know he was going to play fire, but like that wasn't really what I was gunning for. I was gunning for the I can do like 50, 60, 70 on to KO his evolutions before they get to the evolved state.
Yeah. Makes sense. What do I want here? I guess nothing. Headache.
Okay. I will attach to this one, because this guy actually stayed in play this time, and we're gonna go for the boomerang. For all the good it's probably gonna do, we are staying in play here. Because now Vileplume is definitely out, and it's like, I've had 0 turns to play trainer cards this round, so,
Yeah.
you know, that feels good, right? There's just so many things in this format that are just like utterly stupid, you know. It's hard to hit bans without banning like at least a dozen cards, and just like, you know.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I'll go item finder out
Yeah.
of switch Psyduck for garbage run.
Yep. Yeah, you need to at this point just bulk up the deck a bit. You can probably easily take me out before I actually get the chance to play it out here, but you just gotta make sure that you have enough stuff in deck to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Yeah, I
I
think
mean,
that's
the one way that this ends up going in my favor is if you flip like a million tails, and I can just keep returning to hand and not getting KO'd. That's never gonna
Right.
happen, but like it is possible. So, kind of
Yeah.
do need to play to whatever out I can find at the moment. But when you haven't been able to do any card drawing at all, it's not a feels good.
I didn't DCE this turn, right?
No, you did not.
Okay. Cool.
We have a palindromic deck set here. You've got 14 cards left, I have 41. That's just, that's the advantage of going first. Yep.
Yeah, I guess. Pollen stench. Tails.
on that.
I'm confused.
Yeah, as if. Yeah.
And then I'll body slam.
Yep. Which is the head, so it wouldn't have mattered anyway. Oh, yeah.
Oh no.
Oh no! Alright, alright. I will bench a Cypher and attach a DC to it. And that's all I can do.
Okay. Body slam.
Yep. That's why I was like, there's no point in even moving it because it's going down. Oh, yeah, I forgot this one doesn't snap to rotate yet. Alright, well, I will at least put the Cypher out. Wow, that would have been great if I could play it. Okay, let's retreat, and I can at least use the start boomerang here. Which is not going to put me back into hand. Can't tell if that's good or not, actually.
Yeah. Kinda tricky. I will just go for body slam.
Yep. Yep, and that is pretty much game over. Yep, go ahead.
You pass.
Yeah, I can't do anything.
Yikes.
I can't play my entire hand because I've not been able to. I've not been able to play my entire hand since turn 1.
Are they all trainers?
They are all trainers. Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, this is what
Alright,
I'm
body
talking
slam.
about, though. I have gone second, and I was headached on turn 1. I've not been able to play the game on any turn. That's just this format in a nutshell. That's what this Vileplume is bullshit for. Yeah, I can't play and look at this. I can't play anything, so...
Jeez.
I would have... had I been able to play trainers, there's pretty much no way that would have gone south, but, like, I've not been able to play trainers from turn 0, so, you know, that's just what this deck does. That's why it's not fun. But at the same time, like, I killed you before you even got to do anything in the previous one because I went first, so that is also not particularly fun. So,
Yeah.
you know.
I feel like that's fair though. That's a lot harder to do.
Right, well, I've had about all I can take of this format, to be honest, so I'm gonna just go over and have a chat with him if you want to hop over as well. Oh, your Oak Revenges were both fine. That wouldn't have made much of a difference, to be honest, but... Yeah, no. I mean, I guess you could argue, yeah, it would have after the Erika or whatnot, but, like, my hand was completely dead anyway. You might have drawn me into energy and whatnot, like you did with the gaze, so... Because I had 5 trainers, as I showed you in that opening hand, and you gazed me into 2 energy in the deck, so... You know, I had 13 in total, which is not a huge, like, amount, but when you're only attacking for 1 energy at a time anyway, it's more than enough, you know? Just not when you can't draw cards from the beginning of the game. Right, let's have a chat with him.
Yep.
DC anyway, so... Oh, hello.
Hello, that went about as expected. I technically take the win this round. I went first and I did 50 damage to a lone Oddish on turn 1. That's what you could expect. And then game 2, I had the audacity to go second. I got headached on turn 0, and I was not able to play any card out of my hand pretty much for the entire game. So,
Coin flip turn 0 simulator.
Yeah, it actually legitimately was that. Like, I was able to attack a couple of times, but then body slam paralysis killed me afterwards. So
early game is the coin flip, mid game is turn 1, late game is anything else. That's what it's like.
This deck wasn't really designed to survive past the early turns anyway against a lot of stuff. It did actually have a few ways of doing it, but it wasn't necessarily like designed for it. But even so, it's like, yeah, I literally just wasn't able to play the game at all in that second one. So, you know, it's like I'm not doing a game 3 of this because I've had all I can take of this format.
Yeah.
So here's the atrocity that I ended up playing today.
Okay.
So it's not entirely like only early game, because this Poliwhirl is actually really quite good. Like, it is the thing that with Misty late game can just let me push for 60 to 80 without having to have all the plus powers left, right? If I don't get them back with the Boomerang, or if I have to use them on like a Jigglypuff or the Poliwag or something. So it's actually okay. Like, it's not a meme. It's a legit decent card when you're playing this sort of thing anyway. But realistically, this whole deck is kind of a meme, so I guess, you know, by association. But, you know, it can very quickly do 50. I've done like 70 on turn 1, I think, is the highest. And that was with the Staryu, not with the Jigglypuff. So, it's very possible to hit like giant numbers on turn 1 and potentially get your cards back to do it again the next turn. You know, I was backed into a corner. My first match was inevitably going to be against the one guy who had 4 Chaos Gem. I had to do something, and this was what I came up with for it. It's like, beat him before he gets a chance to. Didn't expect to be playing against fire off of it, but I kind of figured that this would deal with almost every deck that was reasonable to expect. Because even your lightning stuff takes like a couple of turns to get going, and one of these guys is not weak to lightning. So that's why I focused on the Poliwhirl in the end as like the backup plan, because it's grass weak, it's not lightning weak. So
yeah, I will admit, my Pikas do take a turn to charge.
Yep. And at which point they're dead. So
need more calories on this Pika.
Maximum chunk.
How fat is your Pika? I think it's like
reasonably chunky.
50, yeah.
Yeah, he's 50, which is either 1 plus power pull punch or Misty plus a plus power for my other attacks here. My only regrets in here, obviously I only have 1 Misty's Wrath, so that's kind of a thing. My only real regret is I only have 2 Misty. Like, if I had a third one, this deck would probably be cemented here. But
May be able to help you in that
I think
regard.
I Misties, yeah.
But this is a one-shot wonder, because this is not the kind of deck you are going to take in against Cleffas and the likes. Because the baby roll destroys this entirely. Like, it adds another coin flip, because you have to flip to attack the baby in the first place, which means the plus power would drop off. The Misty would be just like discard 3 cards, do nothing. This doesn't survive the next set. I needed something to get me out of this godforsaken format, and this was the one thing that I could come up with. Well, no, that's not strictly true. I came up with one other thing, but everybody would have absolutely hated the crap out of me for playing it. I think I still have it in here. I've shown Sai this earlier, and he said, "Yep, that's about right."
I've shown the others.
You've shown the others, yep.
You told me about this.
Blaine's Charmander stall here.
I was looking at this. I saw this on Jason's blog and thought, that's neat. I hate it.
Yeah, I was wanting to gouge my eyes out just looking at this deck when making it. It is horrendous to look at. The idea is that Blaine's Charmander is just one energy discard. It's an energy removal on the opponent, right? You discard an energy attached to the Charmander, and then you discard one of the opponent's active energies as well. And you're running them out of resources. That's pretty much the only game plan
It
here.
runs on the same energy as the Moltres.
Yeah, so you can also mill them, which would have been really good at the end of the Vileplume game. Like, you know, burning through the deck so much to get the Vileplume up, shuts off all my trainer stuff, but I have 16 energy and Wildfire, so I can still potentially close out the game just by milling the rest of you out.
That's free garbage run as well.
And a retrieval, just to make sure, because sometimes you need the energy in hand rather than back in the deck. There's not a lot of draw in here, because it's all about stopping the opponent's play.
Yeah, that's miserable.
It is, and I did kind of say at the start to the couple of people who were in chat, it was like, okay, like, I have two decks here which are both, like, in opposite ends of the spectrum. They're both sort of toxic, but my hands are tied here. What are we going with? And I ultimately just decided I'm going with the water, because it's the one response I have was basically go as toxic as you think you need to beat chaos, like the gym. And I was thinking, well, that's probably going to be this one then, because the no removal gym is because I don't have 4 Cerulean, by the way. I only have 3, so I was like, I want a 4th singing, and I don't play removal, so why not, you know?
Yeah, it's a fair choice.
And it was just a case of, okay, Cerulean means I can freely retreat back to the Staryu, so I don't have to attach to the Poliwag if I get heads every turn, until I need to attack with the Poliwag, at which point it's still decent, still does what it needs to. And, yeah, like, Cypher was a last moment sort of addition to it, just because it's got 0 retreat and a bit bulkier against Jigglypuff. I can't really play...
I probably would have skipped I probably would have gone a full water Lapras, to be honest, but...
Yeah, Lapras doesn't do nearly enough. At the very...
fits, to be honest.
Yeah, I can see that, but the secondary option is that Jigglypuff doesn't take as much setup as these two to hit 50 on the first turn, which is 50 is usually about where you need to hit to one-shot everything that evolves. So, yeah, the Jigglypuff is a bit easier to hit with that way. And again, Cypher is the bulkiest thing that I could actually sort of bring in that also fit the deck. Had like 0 retreat and did not completely screw me up.
For sure.
So, yeah.
I actually may have realized a way around Duck.deck. I'm not gonna let you have damage.
Oh, like group therapy? Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, the funny thing is, I actually mentioned this to Pepper in the thing too, because he got stamp heads, so he ended up having damage on my dudes, so he wouldn't have been able to pull punch me probably. So I was like, what, you gotta group therapy me this turn then? He was like, yeah. Yeah, I think I will. It would just like heal
I
my
saw that
stuff
play,
off.
it was awesome.
That was really cool, like...
Unless you have Chansey, you're not really getting a lot of damage, self-damage that way.
But you see, okay, here's the problem with that though. I play Rainbow in that deck, so I have access to Water Spray. If you don't put damage on me, I'm just gonna do the damage
Remove
myself. Like, it's not a lot, but it is enough. Yeah, removal is always potentially sketch with that sort of thing though.
Yeah. I don't think removal's that common in the format, to be honest, anymore.
I want to give Matt some context as to what we're talking about here, because this deck is, I wouldn't say it's an unknown, but it's like, it's not exactly the common one with it here. This was my Alakazam Golduck, like Sabrina's Golduck thing here. Like, this is on the Prop 15 part, the one that Leo wants to play next round. But
oh, really?
Yeah, he said, yeah, let's do it. I was like, okay,
Oh no,
for
yeah,
sure.
no, I
Yeah.
heard that part. I was just
Uh-huh.
surprised that this was played in that format. It's interesting.
Well, the
Well,
format lasted 1 day, so there's not really much record of it.
Fair.
Jason's probably the most metagame development we've had in it ever.
so it's almost like GOAT format and Edison format in Yu-Gi-Oh stuff, right? Or maybe more accurately Reaper format now. Didn't really last during the day. Like most of the decks were not nearly as good as they could have been, and people have just, I say Jason specifically in this case, but like people for the Yu-Gi-Oh formats have just taken it and have ran with it, and my god, the decks now are like night and day in comparison. They are miles better. It's probably the same thing here, because yeah, there was one format for it, and people pretty much still just played the Wigglytuff, the Electabuzz, etc, etc, like, you know, everything that was already good, you just played kind of more of it, I suppose, but it was just less consistent, because you don't have as many, you know, oaks and stuff to play, so if the opponent disrupts you, well, good luck. But yeah, when you actually look back at the format from that sort of lens, it's like, well, you know, there's other stuff that you could do. It's not quite as bad as people made it out to be, sort of thing. And stuff like this, or even the original Blastoise, Venusaur, stuff like that, can potentially do a lot better in that format.
Edison's actually a very good comparison, because I think Edison format lasted about 1 day or something, like that one major tournament as well.
Yeah,
so, like, a bit of time around it, but it wasn't that much different time between the list and the Frog FTK coming in and ruining everything.
Yeah, Shining Darkness, the next set for it. But yeah, no, it's a similar sort of idea. To go, I mean, I can go over some specifics here. This Diglett, I wanted more of it in here actually, but this Diglett was specifically because Lightning is a terrible matchup for the Golduck, and that was one of the main things I was going to have issues with. But because I play Rainbow anyway, that Diglett can one-shot almost any Lightning Pokemon, so it's pretty good. And then the rest of them can get handled by the Mewtwo, right? You know, because it's like Rocket Zapdos, maybe that can get Mewtwo'd, and damage swap can kind of shift stuff around off it. And then if you can't actually deal with the Golduck, it shifts 6 damage counters to the opponent every turn. So,
And it doesn't die unless you can OHKO it.
So I was thinking about this earlier, but I believe you said there was a Pokemon card that was so horrendous it forced an early rotation.
that's in Gen 4. There was the
I think that's less the
Sableye.
horrendousness as much as the rule change just broke it.
I think it was Black and White rules coming in, kind of just, it was the Great Encounters Sableye, I think it was Great Encounters, because it's Sable Donk is the thing for it. Basically, it had a power that if you led with it, you went first, no matter what the coin toss said. So if you both led with it, coin toss is normal, but if you led with it, you went first. And Black and Stormfront, okay, yeah, it's Great Encounters is too early. And then the point is that Black and White changed the rules back to be much more similar to what we have right now, where we can do everything on the first turn. From Gen 3 and Gen 4, they actually had restrictions on what you could play on turn 1 that made things a bit less explosive on the first turn for, like, you know, trainer cards especially. So yeah, it's this guy. So this Sableye was not designed to be in a format where you could do everything turn 1. And it basically was like, if you put Expert Belt on this thing, it would have 80 HP and does 60 damage for 1 energy, because the Expert Belt is plus 20 HP, plus 20 damage, also plus 1 prize if you get KO'd. But yeah, it did 60 with that, and also then I believe plus power was available from Black and White base, so you could easily hit like whatever number you needed to, really, to one-shot any opposing Pokemon. So yeah, basically what I did to you today, Matt, but on like everything, you know. So not great. And you could say, well, you could just bench another Pokemon and such. I believe they had Seeker, I think was the trainer, the supporter that shuffled one Pokemon from both players' benches back into the deck or something. It's either shuffle it or put it back to hand, but I think it shuffled it. So you could actually potentially like strip them of the other Pokemon that they like if they led 2. And most of the time you're not going to lead more than 2 Pokemon. Like that's unlikely at the best of times. So yeah, needless to say, this is not the only time that we've seen any sort of degeneracy like that,
guy?
but it's... Yeah, that's the one. Each player returns one of his OSKs to the hand. Each player returns one of his or her bench Pokemon and all cards attached to it to his or her hand. So, even if they lead 2 Pokemon, you can get that, and the decks were consistent enough at that time where you were able to draw your entire deck out with being able to play every card possible on turn 1. Like, you did not need to play your supporter for it most of the time. There were ways of getting to it. So, yeah, that ruined one tournament. I think it ruined one of the big tournaments too. And then there was a rotation to I think UK Nationals, if I remember rightly, just flat out ignored that Black and White came out in order to not have this break everything. And then I believe the US ones, if they didn't get ruined by this, I don't remember which ones did. I think the US Nationals might well have done the emergency rotation to get this guy out of format for that tournament, because it was Lysander's trump card levels of busted for the time. That's not even an exaggeration. It ruined a big tournament, so Pokemon don't necessarily like that, and their policy was not to ban cards at that time. That only changed at Lysander's trump card. So, and now for expanded format too. There are plenty of cards banned in expanded, but that's because expanded is 4 generations big. It's too big.
No, it's not. It's just Ridley size. No.
Sorry if I derailed. I just thought it was a pertinent point.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Yeah. So. Was this your one then, Sai?
Yeah, this is mine. I've just been doing some brewing on this.
Right, yep. So, I guess your idea here was just to go for the Night Spirit thing. This is a fun deck, though.
Yeah.
It's hard when you don't get the hang. What was the idea behind such a heavy line of the Golduck, then? Because I thought you would want your...
Item lock with Muck.
Fair enough, yeah. I figured you would want your bench free to have as many of these on the field as you could, but...
But this was also in case, any big normals I wanted to just consistently hit versus the flippiness of the Haunter.
That was my biggest issue when I was testing this, because I have this... I legit have, like, 9 decks for this one, and only the last 2 were the most degenerate ones here. Because, yeah, it was like... I was having a lot of fun making the stuff with it here, and then 4 Chaos Gym happened, and I was like, I can't play any of the decks I've made up during the week here, because none of them can beat that. Yeah, this was my attempt at it, and like the Sabrina's like Haunter stuff, because I actually have 2 Brock's Ninetales to sort of go in as well, and the Ninetales can transform into the Gengar if you want it to count as another name to flip another coin with the Haunter. So... That's a neat little interaction. The problem I had was in this one was, again, I had nothing that wasn't psychic to attack with, really, because I don't have the ability to attack with a Ninetales proper. So basically anything that was attacking was just psychic. And yes, this can do a ton of damage, and I have 1 resistance gem that can help, but yeah, it wasn't the ideal solution. So I should have tried to include something that way myself. I just didn't really know what.
I just figured Dark Golduck is still a really good attacker. And Fire's not unreasonable right now because Blaine's stuff is not bad.
Dude, Blaine's stuff is so good. Like, I was talking a little bit about that at the start, but that Ninetales is insane. That Rapidash is really, really good. And... I even think the Dodrio is decent. Like, I didn't pull the Doduo to play it. I know it's on the coin toss, but remember that Recall was in the previous set, that you can use the effective flail attack from the Doduo to go as well. So
and it works on Blaine's other mons. It works with Agility on the Rapidash. It works with Stoke on the Arcanine. It works with Will-O-Wisp on the Ninetales.
Yep. And you don't have to attach Fire Energy to a Fire Blaine's Pokemon, just to a Blaine's Pokemon. So you don't even have to DCE it if you don't have it in hand. Blaine can attach to the Dodrio. So you can still get it charged in one turn. So I actually think the card is insane. I just didn't pull the Ninetales or the Dodrio to go with it.
I did trade 2 Ninetales for 2 Misty's Wrath.
Nice.
I figured that was... He didn't seem to want to take that because he thought he might owe me more, and I'm just like, Misty's Wrath's too valuable for me. I can't give you anything else.
Yeah, no, Misty's Wrath is...
Come rotation, that'll be very valuable.
Yep. Yeah, no,
I wouldn't give him anything from, like, that's going to rotate out either, because that's just a dick move.
Yeah, for sure.
Well,
yeah, no, so...
My brews are in the corner here. I've got like 6 of them.
Yeah, oh, all of your stuff down the bottom here, yeah. So, I don't know, is there anything... I've seen most of them at the draft stuff at this point, I think. I didn't see what Leo got, but I'm used to that at this point.
Leo put his draft in Discord.
Right, I'll take a look at that later, because I don't think he did last week, that's why I wasn't sure. But I'm not fussed, really, but...
Oh, sorry. He did say he got 2 Chaos Gym.
Yeah, he told us
He's got a solid Blaine line.
I saw... Yeah, he's got 3 Charizard, 2 Arcanine.
Oh shit! Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah, he had a really good Blaine line actually, but he didn't bring it. I don't think he knew what he was doing. He didn't know what was good. He has 2 Blaine as well, so he has the full line. He could have made a great Blaine deck.
I got 1 Arcanine, 1 Charizard, 2 Charmeleon, and that was about it as far as Blaine stuff went for me. I didn't get any Blaine. I missed Blaine's Doduo. How I missed a common, I don't know, but I didn't get a single one, so... Still kind of mad about that, to be honest, but whatever. I
also helped you out with the Poliwhirl.
Yeah, you did.
I didn't think I'd allowed to trade that this week. That's why I didn't do it. I thought that was for next week.
No, Poliwhirl was in the previous set. That's why I was gunning for it, yeah. Only the Poliwag is here.
Gym sets.
They're stupid, yeah. I'm glad we'll be out of it that way around. But yeah, no, I was like, nah, the Poliwhirl was there as a backup plan. Like, I was okay with 1, but I was like, there were times where I needed to get a second one down, and I just only pulled the 1 at a time. Good lord. Yeah, just looking at these Vileplume decks, like, they're all very similar in a way, but just looking at how many extra draw stuff is here with 3 Wrath, 4 Erika. You know?
Yeah, and Trap.
I only use the Chaos Gym usually. I have like 1-2 decks with Wrath, and I'm pretty conservative with it.
Well, Wrath's a hard card to play in most decks, so... Too bad I don't have that many of them for that.
I got Item Finder Erika chained like 4 times in a row, man.
Yeah.
This is like... And then... You guess what happens after that? Imposter Oak's Revenge, Rocket Strap, GG.
Yep.
Misery.
And it's funny in a way, isn't it? Because like in some aspects we play draft to get away from stuff like that because we don't have as many of them. But then it doesn't always happen, and some people just draw them all anyway.
Like, you know? We have 2 people with extremely functional Vileplume decks.
Yeah. That does kind of make it very hard to play around.
And then there's Oops for Chaos Gym.
I don't generally want to play this as much as I have it, because it is miserable to play against. It's like, why even bother showing up with your deck? You're just
That's why I didn't run the Fun Police. Fun Police is my best deck, but I want nothing to do with it.
It's functional, yeah. You're going to win with it most of the time. But it's just no one else gets to showcase anything.
And that is one of the biggest problems with this format as a whole, to be honest. It's tough, because there are some really cool things in here. I mean, hell, if we axe the Chaos Gym out of this deck down here, we've got Brock's Ninetales, Electrode, and like Misty's Gyarados is crazy. This Ninetales is so cool. Like, it's very complicated as a card because it's like Ditto 2.0, but the design space is so insane with this, right? Like, you can transform it into basically anything. You don't get the Pokemon power from it, but that can sometimes be a good thing. And it's just like, you've got Electrode to attach extra energy quickly, and like, it just is neat. It does a ton of damage. You've got other techs that you can play because it's Ninetales is
And
not
I'm also
restricted
taking
to just
Brock
that.
stuff. The Brock's Rhyhorn to counter electric.
Yeah,
And
it's
the
like
Mankey to deal with Vileplume and other shit.
yeah, it's like, legitimately, this is really cool. And then you see, like, 4 Chaos Gym. It's like, oh no.
Another tech I've been really liking this time around is Erika's Bellsprout
Yeah, the
for
Bellsprouts.
electric type decks. This is respectable, and it's also Donk Puff.
Yeah, kind of. I wouldn't want to risk it against a Puff, to be honest, as a single plus power. But yeah, no, it's a decent enough card if you need to hit the grass weakness, which admittedly hasn't, apart from this thing, hasn't exactly come up too often at the moment. But yeah, if anyone wants to play ground to resist lightning, which lightning's traditionally been pretty strong in our format, so it's not unreasonable. As you say, it's good for the grass typing in the lightning deck, so that you can hit those for weakness.
That's why I end up adding Muck to this Raichu Buzz deck. Because Grimer's not as good, maybe, but Muck is Muck. It answers all the bullshit.
Grimer works if you aren't facing Alakazam.
Yeah, the Psychic Wings is unfortunate.
He tried his best.
It's not even that, it's just if you're not one-shotting it, it doesn't matter. All you're doing is giving fuel to the duck.
That is one thing with this deck, it does not answer the duck at all that well. I don't think it even OHKOs easily. Yeah, it needs like it needs heads on Buzz, I think, or to let all Thunderstorm. Otherwise it is just feed counters dot deck.
Alright, so I think we've been speaking for ages. I don't think Matt's had a chance to say anything there. Is there anything interesting you pulled that you would want to speak about from in here? Or any comments on what we've been thinking here?
Well, thanks for asking for sure, but no, I don't really have any too crazy thoughts. I agree that there's a lot of cool cards here, and I wanted to play a different deck, but I feel like you have to play either Bloom or Sneak stuff, like Rocket stuff, and I don't have the Rocket stuff, and I don't want to just lose to the Sneak stuff. So
we are trying to bring stuff that isn't just from Jason's blog. Like, I want to bring different stuff as well.
Yeah, agreed.
At the end of the day, winning with this is would be miserable for me. I don't want to win on the back of this, even if it is really good. Yeah. I'd rather use some of the more unique stuff, like the Rocket Snorlax, the Snorlax build with the Drowsies. Stuff like that's really funny, but also like, oh god, why?
Oh, did you get to see that last week, actually, Matt?
Yes, yeah, I did.
It's funny, but it's different. It's off meta, but it's still really good. Like, even stuff like this, you won't find this really on any sort of list, and it's funny and it works.
It's really just first turn is too strong, and the flavor of first turn I have is Psyduck, and that's my only option.
Yep.
And the only thing that really works with Psyduck, in my opinion, is the Vileplume.
I may have asked if I could just have one turn to do something, but no.
Yeah.
Jigglypuff in the first turn. That's an uncommon.
Yeah, that's the other.
Common, actually.
God, that's the other problem as well, isn't it? It's like, yeah, it pretty much is. You play like the Psyduck Vileplume, or you play the Jigglypuff Donk. I think that's the major. Obviously, he has other decks up there, but that's mostly. I imagine that's actually mostly gentlemaning out of playing stuff like the Vileplume and whatnot.
He has one Tails Gym between all his lists for Gym.
Mm-hmm.
That's gentlemaning. Considering how easy it is that you just throw it in everything.
Exactly. So it's
Bloom is still really easy to beat. You just have to flip heads.
pretty much.
Flip
That's
heads, well,
uh-huh.
Yeah. Just get lucky.
It just wins half its games, which is, I mean, fine, I guess.
The problem is, like, it wins half its games and it doesn't, like, lose the other half necessarily. It can, but it doesn't guarantee. Like, going second with the plume doesn't necessarily mean that it's gonna lose, because this, like, what annoys me more about the Vileplume actually is how good the Gloom is as well, right? Because it isn't just that Vileplume locks out your trainers, it's that the Gloom stops you from doing anything else after that as well. Even if you don't have the Snorlax out live, it's like, well, you could play Kangaskhan. I now have 4 of them. You could play Kangaskhan to try and draw out of the trainer lock, right? Not when Gloom confuses it. And Kangaskhan's so big in retreat cost, I can't get it out the active. And I can't play the trainers and the other cards that would get it out the active. We don't have Pokemon that can do that, so, you know,
Well,
it just kind of wins.
one.
Yeah, like the Stage 2 Venusaur, right?
Dragonite.
Yeah, I guess. Also the Stage 2 Dragonite. Good luck setting that up under...
Yeah, that's the problem. This is also one I kind of wanted to run, but at the same time, this just loses to Dark Vileplume. There's no way to get out what I'd need to get the deck functional.
Yeah, if you lose the die roll with this, so with this like Dratini Aerodactyl deck, then you can't ever play the Fossil down, and at that point it's basically game over. I guess no, not even, because the Mr. Mime doesn't stop, and that they don't stop the Snorlax because of the Gloom. So again, it's not even just Vileplume. It's that Vileplume is in an evolution line where all the things do something, you know. Which is a bit of a stark contrast to most things nowadays, huh? Other than Inteleon, I guess. Like, there's a reason why you don't see any evolution lines except that.
There was also that Pidgeotto.
Yeah. God damn that Pidgeotto. Do not remind me.
Chip.
I fucking hate that card. Like, it's not even the Pidgeotto, it's just the stupid dumb deck that everybody played around it. Like, the Pidgeotto is actually kind of cool. It's just, you know, like, as a different engine, it's neat. But it's just, you play it with all the stupid control trainers and stuff that were around at the time, and you just don't get to play the game. Kind of familiar, huh?
I believe we also get that Noctowl soon, which is really neat.
Oh god, yeah, Ninetales in the
That's
next
an
set
uncommon
too.
as well, we'll
Oh,
be seeing
God.
it.
Well,
I mean,
Yeah.
this is why we need Cleffa.
yeah.
I hate to go back to it, but this is why we need Cleffa. Because Noctowl is Rocket Sneak Attack once per turn on a coin toss.
I have a question on this. Is that once per turn per Pokemon, or once
Yes.
per turn for all of them?
It's once per turn per Pokemon. It does not have a hard once per turn on it.
Just making sure, because sometimes
Yep.
the wording is not great on these things, and
Yep.
it's always best to check.
No, it's understandable.
See, what else did I brew for this week? Because I know I did a bunch of things.
We've got so many decks laid out here at this point. This is what I like about having a communal area in the middle.
I did have my own version of Cal's bullshittery here.
See, I inspired from last week, right?
Well, no, because I did have this idea when we were doing our first draft on TCG 1.
You did, you just didn't commit to it.
I didn't have the cards to commit to it.
Same. I only have one Snorlax on that one, so...
But
I have other ideas too. I don't have the cards for, like the Venusaur Muck deck, stuff with Erika's Vileplume, like that, plus the Rockets Gym. It's something I could have done if I didn't have 4 Chaos.
Mhm.
Well, and I had Rockets Gym.
my problem was this at best trades even with Vileplume. Because we're both going to end up with the same sort of attacker at best.
Yeah, it's a weird one, isn't it?
Oh wait, I don't have one more deck.
I guess the potential catch, it depends on how many Pokemon they bench though, because that Hypno could actually be a bit of a game changer as well, right?
Yeah.
Since it doesn't apply weakness and resistance.
This is my the snipe deck, the Golbat Raichu deck here.
Hang on.
In the bottom
Which one am I
corner.
looking at? Down bottom right, yeah. Was this the one that I...
Challenges.
Yeah, this was the one that you turned 250 damaged me for like playing no cards basically beforehand. Yeah, that was like... That was basically the first show of, okay, there is nothing I can do with the cool decks that I have got this week sort of lined
And
up.
all that was Wigglytuff, really.
And
That
the
wasn't even
worst...
anything new.
And the worst part of that is I led Kangaskhan. Like, okay, I went second, but I led Kangaskhan, which you would think would have been completely safe on this sort of thing, but not when it gets, like, DCE turn 1 into 50 damage with Chaos Gym down turn 2. It's like, there's literally nothing I can do. And I started with the best Pokemon to go against Trainer Lock. So that kind of shows you what we're up against, you know? But hey, maybe the Plot 15 format would be a little bit better than expected with it. So if you want to make anything beforehand, just as a reminder for it, it is 3 copies of any card, except Basic Energy obviously is still fine, but no more than 3 copies of any card, and no more than 15 total trainer cards in your deck. That's the 2 limitations they added in to try and curb the overabundance of trainer stuff here. I have my reservations, mostly because you're cutting the consistency cards down as well. It's like, okay, now I only have 3 Oak that I can play, for example, and less ways of getting to it. But I'm willing to be proven wrong, basically, and maybe we'll have some enjoyment from it. I don't know.
If nothing else, it's an excuse to run the big double Evo lines that we couldn't before.
If we want, I can set aside some time if we want to do an actual showcase of it with, you know, the non-limited of the draft deck list at some point in the week.
Possibly.
We can show what.
If you want to try showcasing decks, we might want to try showcasing with bands, like ban the stupid, see what happens.
Well, I was just doing it more for Prop 15 since, well, sometimes we don't even have the bare minimum of the consistency cards that they're even.
Right.
Did everyone want to play that format next week? Was that what was landed on?
And Leo does.
So I'm fine
What
with
about
it.
the rest of us, though?
I'm fine with it. I mean, I'm always for experiencing the history of a card game.
I'm willing to take a stab at it. I'll speak with Kip later on because he's at a convention at the moment. That's why he had to do his draft on like the Thursday, just because he was going to be away today. So I'll have a chat with him later on though. But I don't imagine he'll have any issues with it. It'll more just be okay. So let me get this straight, sort of thing off it, you know.
Yeah.
So I think he'll be alright with it.
So for next week, we pull no packs and use our current collection to do that format? Is that the idea?
Well, we could pull them, we'd just not be using them next week.
Yeah,
Sure.
I would probably rather, unless we're going to allow for like trades from the set beforehand because it's a week separate, I'd rather just pull them like after we do this one because I think it'd be splitting the tension too much, personally.
No worries then.
This way we also get a week to sort out what we're doing with all the Cleffa stuff.
True. Okay.
That was right though. That we're using our collection, right? This is not constructed.
I would think so.
I wasn't gonna suggest that we do the midweek thing. You know, if we were doing the constructed thing, it would be on a midweek thing, not the actual weekend.
Right. Okay. So I think you're saying yes, correct?
Yeah, I would say we'd use our collection stuff.
Sounds good.
Speaking of, did you get the Pikachu up here? The promo one?
Oh no, I didn't. Thank you for reminding me.
It's not exactly
Where is
very
it?
good, but it's up above the energy here. It's
Got
not the greatest
It's-
card out there, but it's fine.
It's cute.
It's cute.
It might be come in handy in a couple of rotations.
Well, it looks a bit anorexic. Then you have to look at its its actual level, and then you realize, no, it's still...
It's the baby. It's just.
How has it got 30 HP at level 5? This thing is hacked. Let's not use it.
It's chonky for a level 5.
I'm kidding, obviously. It's just like... yeah. It's really silly.
It's just how Pokemon does their basic health numbers these days.
Uh-huh.
Like,
Oh, wait,
Voltorb,
Matt. I have an Erika for trade. Just so you know.
Nice.
I did mention that you were looking for an Erika and were asking me about that. Just like, I just traded for this one. I can't exactly do that right now.
Mhm.
And especially with rotation happening, Erika is still a very valid option.
How many rocket straps do you have?
One.
That's on the Matt.
Yeah, I think he has one.
I have one.
I got one. I'm decided to trade that one away because I don't like it. So
Well,
yeah,
he's-
stuff I want.
We did have that conversation. He doesn't know where he would use the second one or not.
Fair.
Yeah, I don't think
So
I would.
I think if you're on this, ew, then then 2 at least seems correct. But I don't know your list, so
I don't even know that it needs to play any of them. I think just the Imposter Oak is acceptable.
Yeah, honestly, I'd kind of agree. I think Rocket Strap is like a 4 or a 0, basically, and it's mostly in the decks that are trying to either donk turn 1 or lock the opponent's top deck out, as in, you know, using stuff like that Mankey that you played against me way back, to look at the top card of their deck and see, you know, maybe if you need to Wildfire, discard it, or shuffle their deck with one of
or
the
the
other
Hypno
Mankey.
deck, the Hypno Moltres idea I had that time.
Yeah. So, like...
Yeah.
I don't feel... It's weird, right? Because it's obviously strong if it works, but because it is so unreliable and we have other ways of locking stuff out of the game, I kind of don't really feel like it's that good unless you are doing degenerate bullshit. Like, more degenerate than Vileplume, you know?
Mhm.
So, it's tough. Like, I don't really know exactly how to rate it as far as... being good, but then again, I don't have any of them, so I have no idea.
Would you like one?
Yeah.
Not really, because I wouldn't be playing it.
That's exactly my thought. It's like, this is a good card by the numbers, but it's too flippy, too degenerate. I want nothing to do with this.
Oh, I don't even care about it being flippy. I mean, I'm actually with Kib with the way that he was looking at it. I reckon this could be quite nice at some point. Sabrina's Psychic Control going in from the middle. You got to flip a coin, but you get to use one of the opponent's trainer cards from their discard pile. Like, that's pretty cool, right? So I think if I was going to go for a coin flip effect, that's the level of effect I think I would want. Rocket's Trap technically is kind of good with that, but it isn't necessarily... how to put it? Like, it's not forwarding your game plan at that point, I don't think. I don't know, it's hard, right?
It would be nice if the other Sabrina's card worked with this, but it wouldn't.
Nope.
I think the benefit it adds is if you're playing against big basics and you revenge them into a hand that has basics and energy, then you want to get rid of that. But I guess the downside is that you may not be playing against that deck, and if you are, you may revenge them into a hand that's not that in any case, and it just doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Which is kind of why I'm playing one, because like it's one card, and if it doesn't work, it's not a big deal, but it's an option, I guess.
Yeah, if you've got space for it, it's reasonable enough.
Yeah, I am short on cards. I've already got like every consistency option that I have, I think.
And that's the difference maker with it. It's like, yeah, when I take another look here, it's like, obviously no comp search or the item finder in the world, but you've got to get the first card initially, right? So yeah, like 2 comp search here is still like reasonable, but it's not where you want to be, right? You want to be at the 3 ideally, or 4, you know. But you've got to deal with what we've got, and that is most of the nature of the draft stuff here. I just don't want people to get left behind on it, I think, too much. Especially because we are going to be rotating out. Like, Professor Oak is going to go, Comp Search is gone for good, Item Finder's gone for good. Like, next time this Comp Search comes back, it's a spec. And like Bill goes for a couple of sets, and I don't know, like not everybody has got that great of a set, or not even that good of a set of draw cards out of these last 2 sets. If that also goes bad in Neo, and like somebody would say only has 1 Elm or something off of that, oh boy, you know, doesn't matter what cool Pokemon and stuff you get at that point, you just don't have a way of getting your deck up. And yeah, I don't want people to get left behind just because they happen to not pull like, you know, a okay number of uncommons or something, right? That's the only concern, really. I don't want it to be like constructed everywhere sort of thing of it, but I equally don't want people to basically not be able to play the game because they just didn't luck into, you know, what they should have gotten out of draw card stuff, right? Like, you should ideally get a few elves and stuff, but I missed a common out of this set. Like, come on, it's possible that you just don't get any, and yeah, that would just make it not fun to play.
Yeah.
Like, as you saw, there wasn't really anything I could do in either game because I had no out. I went second. I had the audacity of not calling a coin correctly. Like, there's just nothing you can do. Something like that.
But
It
hey,
just leads to very one-sided games that are...
but hey, it can't get any worse, right?
Don't even say that. We're still in Wizards. Don't fucking say it.
So we somehow pulled 4 Rocket Trap out of Neo.
At least it isn't in Legendary Collection.
God.
They made sure not to reprint that fucker.
Yeah. Well, if nobody's got anything else to add here, I think we can.
If anything, sorry.
If we could probably start wrapping stuff up here. If anything, if nobody's got anything else big to add.
4 Noctowls each.
Yeah,
There,
I mean,
game ruined.
That's likely.
Noctowl is weird because you've actually got to set it up. That's the thing. It's not an automatic. So I don't know.
There is also the stadium that helps with dealing with colorless Pokemon.
Ah, yeah, it just makes it do no damage. That's for sure. Yeah, I don't know. Right. Anyway, yeah, let's start wrapping this up. So thank you guys very much for watching. Hopefully you got some sort of twisted enjoyment out of this, because I don't know how much we actually got out of it, but you know, this format, I mean, the mood in the actual tourneys and stuff was exactly the same way when it came to this. It's just like, oh, you only had 1 Pokemon? Well, I guess I've already lost. Good game. Yeah, so, you know, at least it was historically accurate in that aspect. I have no idea how this BS kind of went here. What was that Snorlax card earlier? Which one? The Sleepy Bear or the regular one? Where is that deck anyway? You had it around, right?
Yep.
Yeah. It's... I think you moved it from where it was before.
Yep.
Oh
And
yeah. No. All right, you have it here, right? Okay. Yeah, we'll just do that. So yeah, the one that I was up against was the fixed skin one. So this, I actually have like 6 of this card, but it's just like it takes a ton of energy to do anything, and I wasn't able to draw waters to I didn't even draw the Poliwag. It's like I couldn't amnesia it down. That would have been my other game plan, is amnesia it until GG, right? But couldn't do that because I didn't draw the cards. Yeah, no, this thing doesn't get like status at all, basically, and it's kind of a problem in that aspect because the Gloom can flip to Confuse, and if it flips Tails, it confuses your active, just like this Drowsy actually does with Sleep. But that doesn't matter with the Snorlax, because the Snorlax can't get afflicted by status conditions. So even if you flip Tails, it just doesn't do anything to it. and then if you flip heads while the opponent's confused or they're, you know, like asleep or something, and you might just paralyze them and disable them that way instead, but if you don't, you've still disabled them with the Gloom or the Drowsy or something here. So, yeah, and it's just like, it's a little bit insurmountable when I go second here. I had like a disgusting hand against him if I went first. I had like Sneak Attack, Double Bill, Oak, and one other trainer that I think it was Cerulean actually, and it was just like, that was such a good hand if I could have played it, but I went second and I got headache on turn 1. So, you know, shit happens. It might have been plus power actually, I think that was the other one.
The second game would have went differently if I went second, because I also had a duck out.
Yeah.
And had energy in hand.
But, yeah, so just since you're the other one in here, my first game, the one that actually gives me the win this week, 2+ power, Comp Search, and Water Energy in hand. He had Oddish as his only Pokemon, and I believe it was the Poliwag, but it was either of them would have worked. I think it was the Poliwag, and I was just like, wow, that's game already then. Draw a card, and Comp Search to get rid of Oak Comp Search to get my third plus power out, and I just go 50 and 50 on the first hit. There's like, GG, you know? That
happens.
It's pretty much, I mean, hey, it is kind of what I designed this to do, but it's pretty much the format in a nutshell, right? It's like, I went first, I won. I went second, I lost. That was it. It's not that I have nothing that I could do, it's just I couldn't draw them because I wasn't able to play any of my cards. So, yeah, like I was saying, not the greatest of formats around, but who knows? Like I say, maybe we'll have something better next time. So, yeah, thank you for watching, and until next time, when we'll take a bit of a breather on this, I think. Yeah, I'll probably just do it as like 7C or something, I don't know. Because it's the same format in terms of the card pool, so I don't think it's going to be like the next, you know, main number part in this, but that's fine. We'll deal with what we can. Alright, take care guys.
GG's.
GG's again, yeah. Sorry it had to go that way, but...
Yeah. Happens.